Wouldn't it be nice to have a headband matching the crochet cowl I made? Oh well. Hey there, and welcome to the Totally Fierce Crochet channel. My name's Thomas, and in this video I'm going to show you how to make this beautiful Tunisian crochet headband. Now you might think, what the heck is Tunisian crochet? But I can tell you, it goes super fast, it's super easy, and you get something super pretty like this. It's super comfy, you can wear it on both sides. It's super cozy, super fast, and super easy to make. And it looks awesome and keeps your ears nice and warm. So if you always wanted to know how to make Tunisian crochet, now is the time to do so. So join in and make this beautiful Tunisian crochet headband with me. But of course, before we start, just take a sec, like this video and subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Okay, so here's what you need. The yarn. I have one skein left of this beautiful Pingo Tornade yarn, and it's always good to keep leftover yarn because you never know. You might be able to use it on another project just like this. I first made the crochet cowl with it, which I totally love, and it keeps the neck warm perfectly. But while I was wearing it and while I was walking through the city, I was like, maybe I could do a quick and easy headband. And this is what we do today. So this is the yarn. It says you need a size 6 crochet hook. But since we are going to make this in Tunisian crochet, which is always a bit more tense in terms of the texture and the structure, I'm actually going to use an 8mm hook. Hello camera, where are you? Here it is, 8mm. And you have to make sure that it's a straight hook. So for Tunisian crochet, it's always good to have like a straight hook or a hook where you have like a cable attached to it. Let me see if you have a hook like this. You can't really use it for Tunisian crochet because of this part here. And the same goes with crochet hooks that are shaped like this, where they have like wider parts along the way. So those won't work, but a straight one like this will work perfectly fine. So this is what I'm going to use for this tutorial. Then of course a yarn needle and some scissors. Okay, so let's go. If you're new to Tunisian crochet, so this will be like your first experience with it. Oh wow, what a huge yarn, baby. It's always such a surprise, and then you have like all this extra yarn that you have to untangle then. Great. Okay, so let me just find that starting point. It's gotta be in here somewhere. Where is it? Can't find it. So again, things like this happen. So to start off, we are going to make a foundation round or foundation row. If you haven't done a foundation round before, I'm going to show you how. The reason why we are doing a foundation round is basically that I think that when it comes to to Tunisian crochet, it's always good to have like a stronger, wider foundation as a first round than having it with just a chain. So most of my Tunisian crochet work I always do with a foundation round, and this is how it works. You leave a bit more of the yarn towards the side, um, like you would normally do. Then you make a slip knot. You push the hook through the loop, and then you're going to take this excess yarn and yarn it over from the front. So you have then 2 loops on your hook, and then you take the other side from the yarn and pull it through. Again, let me just zoom it in a little bit for you so you see it better. So you yarn that starting yarn, or that, I don't know, the the excess yarn over from the front so that it is right in between here, and then you yarn over the regular part of the yarn and pull through both, and then you can always like drag a little bit from this beginning yarn to tighten it up, and again you yarn over and then yarn over with the other part of the yarn and pull through, and like this you get like this more or less double size base, and this is all then of course a stronger foundation for the Tunisian crochet. And we are going to do for this tutorial 12 stitches. So here we had 4, so we make 8 more. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So this will be then the height of the headband. If you prefer a wider headband or shorter headband, you can always do it by making more or less of these foundation stitches. And this part here, you can just leave it. Later on we can even cut it where it is, or use it to sew in the other end. And then we are ready to start with round 1. And when you push a little bit, you see those little holes in there, and those are actually then our stitches, and the front, the upper part of it looks like as if we would have done a chain, but you have like more or less a double chain, and in the end you always have like a regular chain, so you always get a pretty border at the top or at the end or at the beginning, no matter from which way you're looking at it. And the beautiful thing about Tunisian crochet is that you also have like a pretty even border on the left and the right, so this technique is perfect for anything that has to do with headbands or stuff like that. So we turn our work just like this. We are going to leave that first stitch where it is, and then we start by putting our hook into that second loop. Make sure you grab both of those loops. You yarn over, pull the yarn through, and keep it up there on the hook. Then you go into the third one. Here it is. And pull it through. You can have it really loose here because Tunisian crochet needs some space. And then in the next one, now you have 4. And again 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and that last one, which is always a little bit fiddly, but here it is, and pull it through. So now you have the 12 loops on your hook, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. And now you're good to go back, because for Tunisian crochet you always work one way and then go back the exact same way, which makes it easy to count or to see which way you're going, because you always go back and forward. So to go back, you yarn over in the end, and you always start by pulling through just one loop. Then you yarn over, and then you always go through just 2 loops, and this is what you do all the way till the end. So you yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, through 2, yarn over, through 2, yarn over, through 2, yarn over, through 2, and so on until you reach that last loop. And here we go. So you just made your first Tunisian crochet round. And here you see like those bars, those vertical bars, those were actually the loops that you had on the hook in the previous round. And to continue now, we are going to work in those bars, because there's always one in the front and in the back. And for this stitch, which is basically a knit stitch, we are going to work in between those bars. So you push the hook from the side in between those two, and then you go right in there. So here's the front. Then you yarn over and you pull through both of them and place the loop on your hook. Show it again. You go from the side in and then through the hole, go back, pull it through, and now you have 3. From the side into that hole and back through both of them. From the side. The more stitches you have done, the easier you will find the space, but I think it's pretty easy with this chunky yarn and the pretty big holes that you get to find the right spot between those vertical bars, the one in the front and the one in the back. And you do this all the way. 10. Here's number 11. Right here. And then for that last one, you always want to make sure to get both of these loops on the side and just yarn over and pull it through and up, so that way you get like this pretty straight border on the side. And now we go back again. As in the previous round, you yarn over and pull through one, you yarn over and pull through two and two and two, all the way to the beginning. Just like this. And here we go. The next round is done. Don't worry if this looks a bit wide or too spacious. It's completely fine. In the back you will get like this panel here, very similar to knitting, where on the left side you have like this clean front, and then on the back you have this horizontal line, and for each round you will always get one of those, which you will see once you made a few more rounds. And I would say let's start with round number 3. Everything is the same. You go from the side in that hole and pull it through, from the side in that hole and pull it through. And again, and by making a few rounds you will then also see like the typical pattern or texture that you would usually have when you do knitting. Personally, I'm not a very talented knitter because I don't have any talent to hold knitting needles. I always need a hook so I can grab yarn and grab stitches. This is much easier for me. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, and that last one you always want to go in those 2 loops and pull it through, and then we can already go back through one and then again through both of the loops. And by going back and forward on such a smaller size, you see results pretty fast, and your headband will be finished in basically no time at all. So let's not waste any time and go directly into the next stitch for round number 4. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and that last one is right here. Here we go. And we can go back already through 1 and then through 2. It's pretty easy, right? Or at least I think so. Here's how it looks like. You can now see more of the texture. It looks really pretty. And in the back you get those typical loops as you know them also from knitting. And then round 5, before I'm going to leave you to it, you can basically do this until you reach the size of your head. So at some point try it on, see if it fits, and once you reached your size you just leave it and then come back to the video to see how to finish the work, the last one, through both of the loops. And here you also can also see right now that the end looks pretty awesome without doing much, and then the front as well, so all straight. And we go back. All the way to the start. Here we go. Looks so pretty. It looks like knitting, but it's crochet. The power of crochet, as I always say, which is true. I'm always amazed what you can do with just a crochet hook. And in that case, you wouldn't even need a typical Tunisian crochet hook. You can make it with a regular one. Of course, when you have a bigger project, you would definitely need a real Tunisian crochet hook, or a crochet hook with a cable attached to it, so that you can also make bigger pieces. But for the sake of this little headband, a regular crochet hook is completely fine. And the last one in, all the way through, and through 1, 2, 2. I always love the return pass, to be honest. It gives me such a satisfaction to go back and then start again. So once you made a few rounds, you will notice that it curls up. It's completely normal for Tunisian crochet to curl up. It just happens, but it doesn't matter for this piece, since we are then going, once we're all around our heads, we are going to attach the beginning and the end to each other, and then this will always be the outer side and this would be like the inner side, unless you want to have it like the other way around, which is also fine, but that's up to you. So don't worry about the curling. That's typical Tunisian crochet. And we make one more round together, and then I leave you to it right until you have it in the size of your head. But with a technique like this, you can even make a choker or a loop scarf. There are so many options, really. So, less talking, more finding the right loops. And through those last two. And through two. And here we go. So have fun with your first, or with maybe your first Tunisian crochet project. I am going to meet you once I have my head size, which might be a while with my big head, but see you then. Once you reach your final size, just stop it and skip to the next chapter of the video. See you then. Welcome back to this tutorial. I finished my headband in terms of width, and if you're at the same point, you just have to make sure that you don't do it that wide or long. It has to be stretchy a little bit to hold on your head. So when it's too loose, it definitely won't hold. So keep it a bit shorter. Since this is wool, and with the Tunisian crochet stitch, you have like this flexibility, and it jumps back to its original position, but not entirely. So just make sure to have it not that wide, because in the end it'll stretch a little bit out anyhow. If you feel like you made it too long or too wide, just shorten it a little bit. You can always do so before putting the ends together as your headband. And this is then also the next thing we are going to do. But this is how it looks. Pretty awesome. I'm going to zoom in for you so you see it. So you see those stitch-like texture, and also in the back. I mean, both sides are pretty perfect to use, which is always great when you have a piece that you can wear from both sides. And so it's totally up to you which side you're going to use. And now we are going to sew in those ends. So I show you how to finish the round, because we still have those vertical bars left here. And now we are going to finish the round, and to do so we start by chaining one, and then we go into that next stitch as if you would do the regular stitch, and instead of like pulling it up, we are pulling it through that first loop to close it. So basically it's like a slip stitch. We do it again. You get into that stitch or into that vertical bar, then pull it through and pull it through the loop on your hook. Once more, pull the yarn through and then through that loop on your hook. So this is basically how you close the Tunisian crochet round, or the Tunisian crochet work. And as you can see, those last loops are then coming towards the front of your work to close it. So as I mentioned before, you get like this really nice border all around your work. And the second to last, and now we have the last one. And just as we did before, we go into that last loop, pull it through, and have a slip knot. And this is basically how you then end your work. And as you can see, the beginning and the end look pretty much the same, which is perfect for us. And now the only thing we have to do is to sew those ends together. So there will be a little border here, which is normal, but I can live with that. So you always know where the front of your headband is. And this is what we do next. So we are going to cut the yarn. And we pull it through and close it. And then we are going to put the work next to each other. And we are going to use our yarn needle to close it. And the way how we do it is that we just simply sew in those, or sew together those loops. And I'm going to take always the outer ones. Here we go. Now you can release it, and since we stopped at the same side where we started our work, we can now knot those two ends together. And like that you get a pretty nice looking, a bit of a zigzag here, but that's absolutely fine. And now the only thing we have to do is to sew in those ends that we have here, and I am simply going to push that through that zigzag round that we just made, and I'm going to pull it through all the way like this, and then that last one in the same kind of way. Maybe this on the from the other side. And here we go. And cut those yarn ends, and you're done. Now if you want to like clean this end part out a little bit, you can always go around on each side with single crochets or half double crochets, but I think that's totally fine to have it like this. It's going to be in the back of your work, or you can even like do something like this if you want to have it and put those ends together so you won't see, and you can basically make any size you want for your headband. For my case, this is pretty much what I wanted, and I can't wait to wear it this winter or fall or beginning of spring. I mean, when there's wind, you can always use it. And again, you can even wear it from the other side like this, and it would look pretty awesome as well. So here we go. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed making this beautiful Tunisian crochet headband with me, and I hope you're not scared of Tunisian crochet anymore. So have fun with it, make more, and I hope to see you soon again next time, only at the Totally First Crochet channel. See you! Bye!